a good-looking guy. Damn, boy. Okay, so what is it I wanted to talk about? Yo, I gotta upload these videos. Loneliness. I believe we all experience it at one point in our life. No? And I believe loneliness can become a drug for some people. We get comfortable being alone. I say it's a drug because I'm addicted to being alone sometimes, but you know, it's like I'm thinking about it this way, like, let's say any type of drug you do, and a drug doesn't signify like it's legal nor illegal. It just means you have an addiction for something. It could be food, it could be water, it could be pills, it could be weed, it could be coke, it could be meth, it could be anything, really. That's what a drug is. It's just something that you're addicted to. And so with anything, if you know, have been eating it, consuming it, whatever, for X amount of weeks, months, years, and you just stop, in 2-3 days, you're gonna go through withdrawals. Your body's gonna start shaking, you're gonna be sweating profusely, you're not gonna be able to sleep right, you're gonna get sick, everything's gonna happen to you. Right after you go through that, it's, you know, you're gonna go through that for, you know, 3 to 7 days or so. Then you feel fine, and then you're over it, really, and that's really how it is. And so what happens a lot of times when you're lonely, like, you could be, some of us are lonely for weeks, months, years at a time, and we don't understand what a companionship is, whether or not it's just like you having, like, you know, a significant other, or like your family or friends, or whatever it may be, especially in this very like anti-social media like world, ironically enough. You get addicted to it, and so the moment you go through like this form of withdrawal, after, you know, your withdrawal in this case is being around people for, you know, the next 3 to 10 days or so, it does not really comfortable for you. So then you go back to wanting to be alone, and you don't want to be alone. It's just that your brain is wired, your subconscious brain is wired. You've created these neural pathways that allows you to create this comfort zone that of you wanting to be alone. And I say this with so much confidence about this because I know what it means to be alone. Like, I feel alone a lot. Like, a lot of these videos I'm making is because of how I generally feel about what I'm going through myself. So it's not me providing some kind of theoretical wisdom or, you know, knowledge or anything. It's just how I've noticed from my own actions, behaviors. My parents got divorced when I was 12 years old, a month before I turned 13, and so the thing is, my dad worked all the time. My mom worked all the time. I didn't live with my mom. I lived with my dad. But the thing is, I pretty much grew up alone because they were never home, and I didn't have a good relationship with my mom growing up. And my dad, you know, he was a truck driver for FedEx, and he actually ran the division of Florida for FedEx at one point. For like land, it's like the longest fucking title on the face of the planet, to be honest with you. He was always alone, and so like I saw that my dad was always alone, my mom was always alone, like my brother felt alone, so then I was alone, so we kind of like Jones affected each other and being alone in a way. And so the last 12 years of my life, I've in a way really been alone. Like, at one point, yeah, I lived in a fraternity house with 30 guys, and the funny thing about it, just because you live with a lot of people doesn't mean you're not alone. You can still be alone, and that's what happened to me. Imagine, I was with 30 guys, but I was alone, and that's an irony. It's like, how is that possible? And it's just it's an emotion, really. It's a feeling, it's an emotion, and what a lot of people end up doing when you're alone is it's like you get really critical, you become negative, you become a realist, and you find reasons why that certain things shouldn't work out, or certain things is the way it is because of the way you've seen it, because of your life, your habits, like your paradigms, like your environment. Certain things just develop that way. And it's true that during times of loneliness you can develop a lot of character, because it's a time where you can learn to become who you are. You can become you, and you learn to become okay with who you are. But it's also not okay, because then it can hurt other people when it's time for you to want to be around others. And it is what it is. Like, I'm always around people all the time. I'm a very social butterfly, but I feel alone a lot of times. So that's the funny thing about it. So I think it's to provide a remedy where that can potentially stop the feeling of being alone. I don't have all the answers yet, but I do know that the moments I feel less alone, like like yesterday, when I didn't feel alone, it's just because I was happy. So just find things that makes you happy. And if you do, you won't ever be alone again. Because you can be alone as a person and still not feel alone. And I think the moment that everyone feels like okay with that, like with who you are, like you don't have to rush into a marriage, you don't have to rush into a relationship, you don't have to rush into a career, you don't have to rush into having kids, things can begin to change because you develop patience. But me, I know I have to learn to maybe not be so patient on certain things, because it's true. But I believe just find something that can make you happy, and find something that can make you feel valuable. Then things can change. Until then, have a great day, guys. Like this video, subscribe, share it. If you enjoy the advice, comment below if you got any advice for me, because I would love to learn from everyone here. And I'm a guy who likes to look at different perspectives and changes, and see what we can do to learn from one another. You guys have a good one. Take care.